Hello everyone, Season 14 is just around the corner, and before doing any character-specific guide, I want to mention some supports you should look forward to. Now, these supports are not necessarily going to be tier S or anything, but next patch is a big buff for them due to item and system changes. First off, we have Vel'Koz. I wanted to talk about him first due to him being the only one getting a direct buff. His E is now faster at close range, which means he has now a reliable tool against people who jump on him, which means he's even stronger and melee support. Also, to mention the changes regarding items, there are many strong cheap mage items now that suit him quite well, like Horizon Focus, Imperial Mandate, etc. Both of them go really well with his kit. Secondly, we have Milio. He is already quite a strong enchanter, especially in low MMR, but next patch is quite generous for him. This one is pretty straightforward. Staff of Flowing Waters will be amazing on him, and Arden is now meant to be balanced around like every other item, and he uses the heck out of both. Unlike Shurelias, the current mythic, stack can be applied constantly, which means he can now apply it on an AoE for 10 and 12 seconds with just your W. And remember, staff now grants 10% movement speed, and 10% movement speed for 10 seconds is something unheard of. Combined with his E that already grants movement speed, he will be the best pick to move around the map with your team and especially boost those CDCs that like mobility like Jinx or Aphelios. Overall, great news for Milio. The map changes might be a bit harsh for him, since both sides are now as punishable in lane, but it should still be a W for him overall. Thirdly, we have Surfing, really similar case to Milio. Remember, now maxing W makes the cooldown go down to just 16 seconds without taking CR into account, and her Echo W procs this item at the first shield and when the healing applies, which means she applies on an even bigger AoE than Milio, Staff of Flowing Water for 7 and Arden for 9 seconds, which is amazing. At the same time, if it gets bug fixed, Moonsault will be amazing on her as a core item since the combined AoE heals and shields have great value in teamfights. I will highly recommend you to go 3 points on Q into maxing W with her next season if you aren't already, as having her W cooldown as low as possible is a must. Next, I want to mention Pantheon. Oh boy, he might actually be a strong support again. Why do I say this? Well, first Vitality is now flat armor reaction, which means it no longer scales with XP, which is great for supports, especially ones that roam unlocked like him or Pyke, which means he generally gets less XP than the rest. At the same time, AD supports now have a specific support passive, and Pantheon is by far the best user of it, and it's overall really strong. With Press the Attack, you instantly apply a 20% damage jump to anyone you jump in on, with your Empower W. Even his damage, no ADC is surviving an all-in from him at this point. Looking really good for Pantheon. For the items, Yomos is probably best as second, followed by Black Cleaver and other situational items. Next, I want to talk about Maokai. He is already really strong but underrated engage support, but now he has a support item that heavily amplifies his strengths. Right now his bait item rush is either Deadman's or Image Shroud. Now he has Trailblazer, which is basically a cheap support version of Deadman's, which naturally makes it far stronger than both. The other changes aren't really much for him, but this item alone will definitely boost him to top of engage supports. The movement speed helps him get in range for his W, and the movement speed trail helps your team follow up in long ultimate engages. Really good. Then we have Neeko. Neeko is getting a huge buff with the item changes. Protobelt, her core item, is now only 2500, which is amazing for a support. At the same time, Shurelias is no longer balanced around its passive, which Neeko couldn't use, which means her engages are much faster and reliable and quite cheaper. Lastly, the engage support passive goes quite well when you need to go into riskier engages, since it gives a 25% damage reduction for 2 seconds. Neeko is your best bet for a mage support, especially in Halo. Similarly, we have Fiddlesticks, one of the highest win rate supports of any patch, yet one of the least played. Protobelt is now cheaper, and though Sonya's is basically unviable for support due to its price, he still has Rallies, Mandate, and other items to compensate for that loss. Lastly, I wanted to mention Tam. The main thing he's getting is a synergy when one of the support item passives. Slate writes him a movement speed boost and heal when he hits someone with his Q, which means he can easily run after them when it's going in with W's too risky, opening for an aggressive plays he couldn't do currently. It's a small thing but worth mentioning. Knight's Vow being able to be rushed is also a positive, while still being able to rush Locket if needed. And that's all for this video. As always, remember to like and subscribe and follow me on other social medias. Next I'll be doing some character specific guides as I said, so don't miss it. See ya!